Writing full-time or freelancing in general is definitely not for everyone. There is something to be said for getting a steady paycheck, for getting a refund every year instead of writing a big fat check to the IRS. And money aside, some people just do not want the place they live to be the place they work. I completely get that. If you're a writer and you love your day job and you just want to keep writing as a side hustle, by all means, keep doing that. But if you do want to be a full-time writer and your fear of the risks you would be taking as a freelancer is what's holding you back, then this video is for you. I titled this video, "The Biggest Lie About Freelancing," and I don't want to bury the lead, so here it is. The biggest lie about freelancing is that there is no job security, because there's no such thing as job security. At least not the way we mean when we say that phrase. But there is one secret truth about freelancing that I feel like I don't hear people talking about a lot. And I'm gonna tell you what it is at the end of this video, but it takes a little bit of setup. So if you're ready, hit that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's get started. 11 years ago, I had a full-time teaching job. I had a year's contract, a salary with benefits, all of that good stuff. And a few months into the contract, I contracted tuberculosis and pneumonia. I was quarantined for 2 weeks, I was in bed for 2 months, and I was on medication for 9 months. And I lost my teaching job because you can't teach children when you have a highly contagious disease. I don't want to make light of a very serious and devastating situation, especially with millions of people filing for unemployment right now thanks to a highly contagious disease. Our current situation is actually what inspired me to make this video, because 11 years ago I found myself very abruptly jobless and quarantined, and it was really scary. While I loved teaching, I'd actually finished the first draft of my very first novel right before I got sick, and my plan had been to start querying literary agents and following a traditional path to publishing. My dream was to be a full-time writer, but I don't think I believed it was really possible, and I definitely don't know if I ever would have found the courage to just jump right into it. But circumstances kind of forced me into it, because writing on my laptop was the only thing I could do, lying in my bed all day, day after day for months. And it still felt like a risk. But looking back on it, I don't think it was nearly as risky as I believed it was back then. Okay, take a look at this. I'm going to Google risks of being a full-time freelancer. I've looked this up before. And just let's see what comes up first. Okay, 5 risks of freelancing. We've got the unstable income. The income isn't fixed and it's difficult to make a plan for your future. My favorite YouTubers are the ones who talk about YouTube, like how to build your channel, how to get monetized, all of that stuff. And all of them offer this one piece of advice. And if you were to go to the best financial advisors in the world, they would also give you this same one piece of advice. And that is, diversify your income.
Diversify your income.
I had one full-time job 11 years ago. I had one salary. I got sick, I lost my job, that salary vanished. How is that job security? Freelancers have multiple streams of income. That means if something happens to one of them, we still have money coming in from other sources. All right, the next one, work-life balance. Being a freelancer means your workload is unstable and inconsistent. No, work-life balance is on you. Work-life balance is what you make of it. When you're a freelancer, you have a better chance at achieving your ideal work-life balance because you are fully in control. Social context. Okay, look, some of us like being hermits, but if you are a very social writer, which you're a rare breed, you can make this work for yourself. You can go to a cafe and write, you can join a writer's group, you can start a writer's group if there isn't one in your area, you can use one of those work share spaces, you have lots of options. On a scale of Ron Swanson to Tom Haverford, you can be anywhere you want. Next one, no permanent employee benefits. Right. Let's say you're offered a full-time job and you wanted the salary to be here, but they won't budge above here, and you still really want the job. What do? You negotiate, because your compensation package is about more than just your annual salary. It's about your health benefits, other benefits, perks, and you can ask for other things to increase the value of your overall compensation package. When you're a freelancer, you set your own rates. You are in effect negotiating with yourself. You know you need to pay for health insurance. You build that into your rates. Last one, responsibility for everything. LOL? I guess I understand that maybe that's not appealing to some people, but how is that a risk? If you are maybe really high up at your company, or you have a remarkably transparent employer, then maybe you know everything that's going on. But if you're just another employee, there are decisions constantly being made behind closed doors that could drastically and probably will drastically affect your job and your career, and you have zero say in it. If you're a freelancer, you know everything that's going on because you're responsible for everything that's going on. That's not a risk. That's like an anti-risk because you can always be prepared. My writing career got off to a slow start. I worked for free as an intern, for the exposure. All work is good exposure. You should get paid for it too. I wrote content mill articles for as little as $5 for every 500 words. I wrote for sites that paid in AdSense revenue, and I watched the pennies trickle in every month. I made a lot of mistakes and I had a lot of ups and downs, but those downs were just as important, if not more so, than the ups. And I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean with something that just happened to me yesterday. I got an email from one of my editors saying that a book I was scheduled to have come out this coming fall was getting bumped back 4 months. Due to everything that's going on in the world right now, I think a lot of authors are currently getting very similar emails. I also have a proposal on submission with that same editor right now, and back in February, he said he anticipated making an offer sometime in April, which would mean I'd probably see a part of that advance this fall. And while I haven't heard anything yet, I kind of suspect that that book is going to get put on the back burner as well, maybe even indefinitely, because the publishing industry, like every other industry, is currently kind of recalibrating and trying to figure out what's going to be going on over the next 6 months, over the next year, even longer maybe. And that brings me to the one secret truth about freelancing that I feel like I never hear people talking about. Freelancing gives you the bounce back skill. Okay, I made up the phrase, but the skill is real. I'm talking about your ability to recover quickly and effectively from a major career blow. Because I'm not worried about that book getting bumped back a few months, and I'm not worried about that proposal getting pushed off maybe even indefinitely, because I'm not relying on them as my only sole source of income. I have multiple projects going on all the time. I have contracts with different publishers, I have private ghostwriting clients, I have copywriting work, I have courses that I'm going to teach. I have things cooking on all the burners. And if one burner on the stove fritzes out, it's okay, because I can keep cooking. And that feels a lot like actual job security. That's it for this video. If you have any questions about full-time writing or freelancing, please hit me up in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And until next time, keep writing.